let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Well done, those of you who were meditating on death with me and have come back for more. That's fantastic. Done lots of practice tonight. So I didn't see, excuse me, Kimberly this evening, which was unusual because I think she was going to come. But, you know, she's having lots of visitors, so she might be quite tired. Okay. And there's Cynthia. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. So if you're sitting at your desk, you know, as we usually do, just make sure your feet are kind of about a hip's width apart. Feel the weight of your hands in your lap, your sits bones in your chair. Align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. Imagining your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light. It stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Imagine you're lengthening your spine and then go to the crown and just relax the scalp and allow some softness to come to your face and your body. And just let all the tension of today, this morning, wherever you are in the world, just release it, just let it go and just relax. But keep your body aligned, particularly the little bit of length in the back of the neck so your chin is not too high or too far down. If your chin is sticking up like this, you get a little bit of constriction in the back of the neck. Apparently that creates agitation in the mind. So best to try and keep that a little long. Excuse me. Be aware of the breath, noticing the sensations of the breath. Any sound in your environment, any external sensory information, just allow it to be there. Trying not to follow with the mind. And then notice what's going on in your mind tonight. Is it similar to what was in your mind this morning? And then be a little bit objective about what's in the mind. Try and be curious about what's there. And then bring to mind that all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, and the ones you don't like, remembering they're all equal. They want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change that by creating positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret and sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and of all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience, and we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically it makes sense to remove these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us, and also to remove them so that at the time of our death, as we mentioned in the last class, they won't just kind of start ripening all of a sudden and kind of lead us off into maybe a less fortunate rebirth. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So now we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha to forgive us necessarily. We're looking for medicine, the methods. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, this beautiful white Buddha. And you imagine this is also the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit, made of blissful white light. And he has this beautiful radiant face. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, left holding a bell representing wisdom, right holding a vajra representing the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents enlightenment itself. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for all these beings. We start now with the main body of the practice, the power of the remedy. And we use light, visualization, and mantra to do this practice. So we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida meboa, situkaya meboa, zipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Drida meboa, situkaya meboa, zipokaya meboa, Anorakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Bhadra Safa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Bhadra Safa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Bhadra Safa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Ambhadra Safa Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Safa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the negative speech, gossip, harsh speech, useless speech, lying, gossiping about people behind their backs, and just kind of engaging other people in your conversation, all our inappropriate speech, all of this completely purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe, ambhadrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe ambhadrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, savosidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others with your speech, including yourself. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you just imagine you've walked into a room, it's pitch black, and you flick on the switch, and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So imagine something similar is happening here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and then all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so like your depression, anxiety, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, all these kind of unreasonable thoughts, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the sort of the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think now that there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar and it fills you completely. eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. So, the nectar flows down and pushes all the negativity of the body out from the bottom orifices, and the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech through the top part of the body. And then the light comes and just kind of blasts, and this is all happening at the same time. And like I said, eradicating even the very, very subtle imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mebiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again because we have these like habit energies. So we just want to decide, I don't want to harm. I want to refrain from harming. This kind of gives us a little bit of a project, some guardrails, guides our mind into different directions, more positive direction. So first of all, rejoice in your efforts for coming along here tonight, and your efforts in, even if, like, as Jennifer was saying, the mantra is difficult, but you still keep coming back to and persevering. So really rejoice in that. That's fantastic. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be a great big huge thing. Maybe it's just something you can think about while you're in the line at the store or you're sitting in traffic. And then imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think My teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So he would say, in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level your mind understands emptiness, just kind of place it there for a moment. You may only understand the word, but they talk about all phenomena as being empty, so that they're not existing in and of themselves, they're from their own side. And you can also think this other way. The way things are appearing to me might not be the way they exist. It might look different to different people from different angles, according from the difference between how I look at something than how a deer looks at something. Deers are kind of like eyes on the side of the head kind of thing. My eyes face forward, so my view is going to be different. Dog has a greater sense of smell than I do. Okay, let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Right, so we're chanting the names of Manjushri. Oh, I lost your screen for a minute. Okay. Atop pain's remedy, the Mahayana, with Vajradharma as his mighty weapon, with Vajra depth, renown as Jinajik, with Vajra thought, aware of how things are, perfecting all perfections perfectly, adorned by all the grounds of bodhisattvas, the selflessness of pure phenomena, with the luster that is moonlight unto knowledge, with great endeavors as illusory nets, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every Vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies. Okay, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and, for Lama Zopa Rinpoche to be born happy, healthy. He's already here, apparently. And then for Rinpoche to be found at a point that's appropriate, and then for all of your own individual teachers to live long. All right, everyone. Good night. Lots of love, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay. Thanks for hosting, Shayla.
Thank you so much, Vanu.
All right. Thank you, Coral. Okay. Bye, everybody. Good night.